Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you all had a lovely weekend and you're excited for a brand new speed build today. So we are working on a brand new residential rental. This is technically like I can never think of the word, one of those houses that's connected to another house, like a terraced house. I was kind of imagining that maybe this is like a more British style kind of area of my save file, because I am recreating kind of like just overall British style buildings in Newcrest. I went to say Willow Creek then. In Newcrest, in this particular section anyway, and these are kind of like what I'd imagine as like council house, terrace houses, typical like British homes. In the UK we have a lot less space, so a lot of the houses are very small and compact, yet they are like the same price as like a mansion, maybe not a mansion, but a normal sized home in America. So I thought we would, you know, do something a little bit different. I know that last week I wasn't very active because I did go away for 2 days with my fiance, so I wasn't here. Sorry if you could hear that ping in the background. I left my sound on my phone and it was Sims on Instagram. But I am back today. We are building a brand new build. This is for 3 different families. I have just done the first one for this particular video, so tomorrow will be the next one, and sorry if I whistled then, that seemed really loud. So tomorrow will be the next one, and the next day will be the 3rd house. Now, as you can see, I did have a little bit of trouble with the roofing. I do end up changing it off camera, I think. I'm not too sure, but I did make it work in the end, but I really wasn't sure what I wanted, and it was a little bit fiddly, but you know, we got there in the end, so it all worked out. So I did decide to go for a brick theme, because I feel like a lot of these kind of style houses are mostly brick, in my non-expert opinion. So we did go for a brick colour scheme, as well as the house on the left. The house on the left I was kind of feeling was more like actual houses, whereas this one felt a little bit more like townhouse vibe. But obviously in Britain we don't have townhouses necessarily, unless you're in a city maybe, but you know, it's more of an American like New York theme kind of aesthetic. I don't know, but anyway, so we do have enough for 2 bedrooms, and we have 2 bathrooms in this particular house that we're making. If you can hear the clicking in the background as well, I do apologize. You shouldn't be able to hear it, but you might be able to. Every now and again my heater keeps clicking because I am freezing, okay? It's literally like nearly the end of September, and Britain isn't exactly a warm country, but to be fair, it is sunny, but I'm still very, very cold. So yeah, if you can hear the clicking, that's what it is. But anyway, we're now doing the interior, but for this particular home we are building for a single mom, and she's got 4 children. So I don't know why I always say single mom, it's a single mum, but in my titles I always put mom, so it's just a habit, I suppose. But we are building for a single mother, and she has 4 children. She's got a teenage daughter who I was kind of imagining is around like 15, 16. She's got twins who are a girl and a boy who are children, and I was kind of thinking they were like 10-ish, and then we also have a toddler boy who's about 3. So that is the setup. Now this home is quite small. We do only have 2 bedrooms, so as you can imagine it's quite a tight squeeze, to say the very least. So the toddler does share a bedroom with the mum, and the other 3 share a room. Now that's not ideal obviously, but she is struggling for money, and you know, she's lucky that she's got them in a nice space. I'm really, really looking forward to doing different style builds, and I think this is a really exciting one to do because I haven't done terraced houses really ever, if not like a very long time ago. So it's quite nice to do something a bit different that isn't an apartment, which I know you guys love apartments, but it is really nice to do different style builds. This is technically kind of like an apartment, but it's a residential rental, whether I'll title it as an apartment because it's the same kind of thing. Residential rentals are just a bit glitchy, and I much prefer apartments, which I know that's not what's the word? It's not an actual thing that you can play in other than in the actual apartments. You can just make them residential rentals, which of course is a massive game changer. And the fact that we can create these like really cool different style builds now that are functional is just such a literal game changer. But they are a little bit glitchy for my game. Maybe other people they're not, but they are a little bit for me, so I tend not to play in them. However, I am really looking forward to hopefully being able to play in them when I complete my save file, because I haven't played in them in a long time. Maybe they're not glitchy anymore, maybe it was just back before when I first tried them out, but honestly I usually play with a lot of big families and they just don't really fit in these like small compact houses. However, I do have a lot of like distant relatives in my game. I have so many people that it's just like so overwhelming. There's a lot going on, and I don't usually play in these small compact places just because it's just not really doable. But you know, we make it work. So I'm going to probably have my distant relatives live in these smaller houses. So I, sorry, 2 seconds. My fiance's messaging me. He's in the shop. He's getting me Maltesers. Guys, I've got a bit of an obsession with Maltesers. If you're in Britain, then you definitely need Maltesers. I mean, you guys probably know what they are, but if you don't, then you need to get some Maltesers in the fridge. He's like messaging me like, what do you need? I'm like, chocolate. Everyone else, if you don't know, I'm obsessed with chocolate. Anything that begins with C, I basically like. Chocolate and chips, but chips over here are fries, but chocolate and chips I could live off. So healthy. Anyway, what was I saying? Off on a tangent. You were saying that I am probably going to have my distant relatives move into these houses because there's less of them and it's a smaller space, so it makes sense that they would live in a smaller place. But I probably won't be living in them myself as my family because they are a bit too big of a family to live in a smaller space. However, I really enjoy playing in them, which is really annoying because I wish they fit more people in, but alas they do not. We have to at least have a functional space for a save file, obviously, so don't worry, it will be functional. But we're now working on the kitchen dining area. Now I did go for a green theme, in case you couldn't tell. I just love green, always have, always will. I don't know why, it's just kind of like the vibe that I enjoy, but I really like this room. I think it turned out a lot nicer than I was expecting to. I didn't really know what to put in this particular corner on the left side, so I did just put a cabinet in the end, but I never really know how to fill some of the blank walls in kitchens. I do end up adding like these like old-fashioned cabinets which don't really match, but we're gonna pretend they do. So I also included a lot of the kitchen clutter because you guys know I love my kitchen clutter, and honestly if I could just have like a massive, like if I could have an expansion pack for just kitchen stuff I would, which is really funny because a lot of the people that I speak to are like, I don't actually enjoy doing kitchens. I'm like, how can you not? I love kitchens. Kitchens and bedrooms are my favourite rooms. Bathrooms are boring, dining rooms are boring, lounges are like middle ground. I don't mind doing them, but I don't love them. But kitchens, I just love them. I just feel like it's like the heart of the home. Speaking of food, but I just like kitchens. I just really enjoy building them. So having a kit dedicated to kitchen clutter is just ideal. But anyway, so we're finishing up in the kitchen now. I did end up adding like a cute little nook in the corner as well with a lot of clutter. I did add some like kiddie kind of like colouring books as well, because I kind of imagine that perhaps maybe the grandmother like came over to like look after them sometimes, and she had some like colouring books that she brought over. Did anyone else when they were younger have those colouring books that were like you could paint on them? So you just literally have like a wet paintbrush and you'd go over it and it would like become colourful. I don't know how that worked, but I loved that. I still don't understand it, but my nan used to have some at her house, and the shop near where she lives used to sell them, so I used to get some of those. But I'd honestly love to do that still. I mean, it's kind of pointless, but it's also like magic. So I was kind of imagining that maybe they had some like, you know, colouring sheets or those like magic paper things on the kitchen cabinets for the kiddos. But yeah, like I said, they're about 10 years old, the twins are, so I felt like it, you know, it fit, it was, you know, relevant. But the older sister, I was kind of imagining that perhaps she was fed up of living in the same bedroom as her siblings, of course, because she is like 5-6 years older and she's a teenage girl, so you know, I don't blame her, but she has to make do because they only live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place. They do fortunately have their own little bathroom, so I guess that's a good thing, but they do have to share a room, and of course sharing a room with 2 10-year-olds when you're like 15, 16 wouldn't be ideal. But you know, I think they get on well. It's just, you know, normal sibling situations. They bicker, they kind of, you know, get on each other's nerves, but they still love each other, but you know, they really don't want to share a bedroom. Well, the older sister doesn't. I feel like the twins don't really care. They're just, you know, living their best life as children. Wasn't being a child so much better? I honestly think that all the time. I'm like, why do I have to be 25? Why can't I be 5 again? Playing Barbies in the pond outside of my garden, and I had like a canoe thing, and that was my dad's when he was younger and he used to play. I had a canoe for my Barbies. Obviously he didn't play Barbies, but like Action Man or whatever they were, and maybe he did play Barbies, who knows. You like me for saying that. But yeah, we me and my mum used to play outside with the Barbies, and we had like a whole tent set up, and we had like a paddling pool for them, like a little actual Barbie paddling pool, and I had a paddling pool for myself, which was, you know, child size, which was an ice cream van. Those were the days. Honestly, if I could go back to the summers, I 100% would. I mean, I could, but that would be a bit embarrassing at this age, but yeah, so much better. But that was 20 years ago. That's insane. But anyway, so we are now finishing up in the kiddos room. I'm moving on to the mum's room. But yeah, I really like this house. It turned out a lot nicer than I was anticipating. So that's always good, because I wasn't really sure what I was doing when I was starting off today. And honestly, I've spent all morning trying to create different documents, and they kept messing up, so I didn't really have much time to film. So I'm doing this quite late in the day. Don't know why I went Australian, but there we are. That was a terrible impression of Australia. I apologise. But yes, we're finishing up in the mum's room. We're just adding in a cute little corner for the toddler. Like I said, I was thinking he was like 3 years old-ish. I think that he's a little bit of like a menace. I think that he is a bit of a troublemaker, and he gives the mum a run for her money because he is always on the go, and he's a very, very busy little tot. But I just like it. I think this whole place is really, really cute. But I am going to end the voiceover in a second. We do have a bathroom. Yeah, we have a bathroom left. We've got the garden left, so that'll be fun. I do have some screenshots at the end, of course, as well, so stay tuned for that. But I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new speed build. I also have my giveaway linked in the description, so be sure to check that out as well. So yes, I appreciate you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new speed build. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new speed build. Enjoy the rest of the video. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Leave you when you say that you miss me, 'cause where are your actions to prove me you're different? When I say I need you and you head the direction that's leading away from me, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't believe you, no. 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 I don't believe you, no, no. Oh, I gotta wake up. This might be a breakup. 'Cause I don't believe you when you say that you miss me. 'Cause where are your